Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and this guided message. Now, before we get into the message, let me explain how this works. So, I intuitively channel messages, and depending on the message, I may use divinatory tools like tarot and oracle cards, but only if they are required for clarifications or further information. So, let's get into this message. So, one of the easiest ways we can balance and unblock the first 5 chakras is through singing and dancing. Now, let's look how these two activities can help unblock each of these chakras or balance them. So, the root chakra involves our stability, our security, it involves fear, it involves safety. If we do not feel safe, we have blocked root chakra. If we are afraid of anything, whether it is about going after our dreams, whether it is about speaking up, even though that is also involved with the throat chakra, it is also involved with the root chakra. So anything that impacts our stability, our safety, our security, our very core, basically anything that impacts our survival is associated with the root chakra. Now, singing is something that allows us to tap into the universal energies. Same with dancing, you are attuning your body to the universal rhythm and the universal vibrations when you're dancing. So both of these are can help us attune ourselves to the higher frequencies. So obviously it will help us unblock our root chakra and balance it. Moreover, if you have trauma, if you have history of abuse, if you have even if you do not have trauma, if you have always had an unstable life, what happens is that your root chakra gets blocked and you're afraid to take risks, you're afraid to go after something that is out of the ordinary, you're afraid to live your truth or pursue your passions or just rock the boat in any way. So and of course your trauma also gets stored in your root chakra the most. So dancing is also a physical activity, it's a form of exercise, so definitely it is very helpful for the root chakra, because you can quite literally dissipate stored trauma from your body by dancing or any form of exercise, and that will automatically balance your root chakra and unblock it. And well, singing is a very uplifting. Both of these activities are extremely uplifting. It helps us connect to a higher vibration. It makes us happy. It in the moment when you're singing or dancing, you can drop your inhibitions. Basically, you can forget your fears. You can forget your worries. You can just be your authentic self when you're just belting it out at the top of your voice. Doesn't matter how good you are at singing, when you're just singing your favorite song or you're just dancing to your favorite song, you can forget about the problems in your life. Think about the time when you just sing in the shower. Do you really remember all the bad stuff? Maybe you have had a very bad day, but in that moment, will you be thinking of it, or will you actually be singing and quite feel happy? Similarly, when you're just cooking and you're dancing in your kitchen, in that moment, chances are almost everyone is happy and tuned in to yourself, your soul, and the higher frequencies, as opposed to all the worries and the harsh circumstances that might be surrounding you. So that is one of the easiest way to tune in to a higher frequency, raise your vibration, balance your root chakra, and unblock it as well. Okay, so now let's look at sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is involved with our creativity, with manifestations, and manifestation, because it is related to the feminine energy. Our own personal feminine energy is the sacral chakra, so you can manifest both using your feminine energy and masculine energy. So both the sacral and solar plexus are involved here, but since we are talking about the sacral right now, so your manifestations, your creativity, so birthing anything, whether it is a manifestation or a project, whatever you want to birth into existence is related and governed by your sacral chakra, and also your sexuality. And feminine energy is very much associated with it, whether whether you identify as a feminine or a masculine, doesn't matter. Your sexuality is your intimacy, how you approach intimacy, being intimate, being in your feelings, being comfortable, being vulnerable, being vulnerable. All of that is associated with the sacral chakra. So of course the heart chakra also comes into play when it comes to feelings, definitely, but so is the sacral chakra. You have to be open to being vulnerable, to feel love, to be in the energy of love. All right, so these two are intertwined in that way. So the sacral chakra then can be blocked or imbalanced if you, again, if you're afraid of intimacy, or if you have been hurt and you don't feel comfortable being vulnerable to someone. I mean, it's logical, it's obvious. If you have sexual trauma, definitely it's gonna block you. So especially if you have that sort of trauma, dancing is going to be very helpful, especially dancing which involves hip movements, and also forms of dance which are more intimate, because then they will help you attune yourself to the more intimate energies. It will make you feel comfortable with intimacy, with your own body, with the feminine energy. And when you are comfortable with the feminine energy, you can create, you can birth your dreams into the reality. So that is how dancing can help you unblock and balance the sacral chakra. Now singing, again, singing is also about dropping the inhibitions, like we already discussed. It can attune you to the higher frequencies. So in this way as well, it can just help you, be comfortable in your energy, and in this case, most importantly, your feminine energy, and unlock your sacral chakra. So our solar plexus chakra governs our masculine energy. It is about action, especially inspired action that is taken based on our gut feeling. So when we talk about our gut feeling, we are actually talking about our solar plexus chakra. Solar plexus chakra is all about using our putting our intuitive knowing into action. So if you know something, you want to manifest it through action. The masculine energy, manifesting through masculine energy would be the solar plexus, taking inspired action, not mindless action, but inspired action, passion, drive. All of these are positive manifestations and positive attributes of a balanced solar plexus chakra. So, and also being your own worthiness, and being grounded, or rather being solid in your knowing of your worth and who you are, and your self concept. All of these are also associated with your solar plexus chakra, especially when it comes to you asserting it, as in you putting it into action, like not just knowing that you deserve something, not just knowing that you're good at something, not just knowing that you should be doing something, but actually doing it, actually letting your actions state that you know your worth. Let your passions and your drive express that you know your worth, who you are, all of that. So that again, dancing and singing can help you be in your attuned to your higher self, to your own truest self, because you're already tuning into higher frequencies. You are dropping your inhibitions. You cannot take inspired action or be solid in your knowing of your self-worth if you are afraid. If you're afraid, you will automatically be blocked. If you are unsure, if you don't want to rock the boat, you cannot take inspired action, right? So when you drop your inhibitions, whether it is singing or dancing, both of these actions, both of these activities rather, can help you, drop your inhibitions, let go of your fears, be more open, and of course help you attune to higher vibrations. So again, the same concept comes through. For the heart chakra, singing and dancing, both of these activities are extremely healing. They are used for therapy as well, right? So any form of trauma that can close up your heart, that can make you if you are afraid of opening up, being vulnerable, of showing your true self, even, all of these can be about a blocked heart chakra as well. All of these, it's not just that one single chakra involves something. These are all connected, right? So this is also associated with the heart chakra. If you cannot love yourself, if you cannot accept who you are, if you cannot be fearless in who you are, obviously you cannot love yourself. Obviously you cannot accept yourself, and then you cannot love another. You cannot be in the flow of love energy, right? You cannot embody the love energy if you are afraid of loving, if you're afraid of being hurt, if you're afraid, if you have trauma, if you have not healed from the trauma. All of these can just block your heart space. It can stop you from going after what you want. It can even block your healing journey, of course. So singing and dancing can be extremely therapeutic, and also help release all the trauma, because when you can think about singing, you just when you're just happy and singing, everything else melts away, right? So it's quite literally one of the best ways to heal. Same with dancing. And next comes the throat chakra. The throat chakra is one which is most prominently associated with singing, but it's also associated with dancing quite as much, because dancing is a form of communication. It's just non-verbal communication. We are still expressing non-verbally when we are dancing. So it is still governed by the throat chakra. Now the throat chakra can be blocked the moment we do not speak our truth, the moment we are afraid of speaking our truth, when we are afraid of speaking of our experiences, when we are afraid of sharing our story because we are afraid of backlash, we are afraid we'll be shut down. Maybe you have had people shut you down when you are trying to speak. So that can cause trauma, that could just block your throat chakra. If you have harsh experiences, if you have trauma, if you have history of abuse, it is very natural that you will have blocked throat chakra or a disbalanced throat chakra. So now the thing is, it's not one of the easiest ways to unblock your throat chakra is speaking your truth, but let's be honest, it's not always feasible. Maybe it's not safe for you to speak your truth. Maybe you don't want to, and that is also okay. It doesn't matter. But how do you stop that from blocking your throat chakra? Because maybe whatever you're not speaking about, maybe that is valid and justified, but you still need to be able to speak up against other things in other areas of your life. But if you do have a blocked throat chakra, you will not be able to speak up effectively in other areas of your life either. And of course, you cannot communicate better and or live in your own truth, right? Because throat chakra is also about the truth. So it's about living in your truth, It's not just about speaking your truth, but it's also living your truth. So when you block your throat chakra, or when your throat chakra is blocked, it is going to stop you from living your truth. So this is one of, singing will obviously be very much associated with unblocking your throat chakra, but like I mentioned, dancing is also a non-verbal communication and expression. So these two will help. Now another thing that we need to know is how to go about this. So if you're genuinely repressed in some ways, one of the easiest ways is to take small steps, right? So you can just start small. If you quite literally find it hard to sing out loud at the top of your voice, that means you have a fear of being seen or being heard or anything. It's just that you're not comfortable, right, in your own shoes, in your own body, to be seen by people, to be heard by people. So just start small. Just first you can just hum. Next you can just start singing out loud in your own room, then maybe a little louder till you're really comfortable singing out loud. Even if someone hears you, so what? You're not doing anything wrong. And why it is important? Because when you embody that I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just singing, it's one of the purest things ever. So why should you be afraid? Why should you have any, unless you're actually creating a problem for someone. What I'm talking about is you just sitting in your own room and singing at the top of your lungs, or maybe at a park bench. It's okay. I'm sure no one's gonna be sitting next to you studying for an exam, so you won't be causing any problems for someone. So why not speak, sing out loud, sitting on a park bench. You shouldn't have to feel ashamed to block your throat chakra, because the moment we feel ashamed that people are singing, what will people think, this is a public space, why not? You are just attuning yourself to a very pure and higher energy. It's going to make you feel happy. Maybe others will also feel good listening to that music or that song. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the most melodious thing they hear. It's just about expression, and you singing something nice. I'm again talking about something that is probably not going to be explicit or not going to cause issues for someone. And again, if you like that sort of music, I'm not trying to censure you in any way. This is just about how you can be uninhibited in your own space without causing harm to anyone or without inconveniencing anyone, because you should, it's completely okay. The same thing with dancing. Why should you not be able to dance when you're just listening to music and walking in the park? It's completely okay for you to dance, but there will be people just staring at you. So the point is that we get comfortable to do that, and it takes courage. Even I would be quite let's say unsure of dancing in the park, but in my own home, yes, it still helps. But the point is that we all should be able to do it without causing problems for others. That's when we will be in the most empowered state. And not another message that is coming through is that singing and dancing, this is so powerful, and they help us attune to the higher frequencies so quickly that this is exactly the reason society has made it so that singing out loud or dancing out loud or all of a sudden is frowned upon. Almost all modern cultures and religions around the world, anything that has existed for a few hundreds or even thousands of years but are still very much mainstream, actually frown upon just us singing or dancing all of a time or whatever without permission. Even when it is allowed, it is under permission, under certain circumstances, for certain people, which means that only certain people are allowed to tune into the higher frequencies, or only under certain circumstances can you tune into such higher frequencies so quickly, so that your vibration is automatically lowered. Because imagine if you're singing and dancing the whole day, wouldn't we be happier? Would, even in the worst days, wouldn't we be actually happier if we could just... And yeah, I understand that in the moment when everything is falling apart, I'm not going to feel like dance and sing. But at the end of the day, because life has to go on, and we can't, even if we don't want to, there's no other option. At the end of the day, what can help us through the night is maybe a good song, and then if we can manage to dance to it, I'm sure we would feel better. Because I personally have gotten myself through so many dark nights, just by listening to some music and then pushing myself just a little bit to maybe tap my feet a bit and then dance a little, and it genuinely helps. Now imagine doing that whenever things are bad. It would be so much easier for us to switch our vibration to the higher frequencies. Doesn't matter where we are, if we can just do it without inconveniencing anyone else, of course. Wouldn't life be so much better? Because we would be switching from a lower vibration. Because it's okay, sometimes bad things happen, sometimes it happens a lot to some people, and it's not our fault, but we still have to keep moving, and we would want to raise our vibration, right? So when we are done going through it, one of the easiest ways would be dancing and singing. And the thing is, people think that meditation is the only way for you to attune to the higher frequencies. That's not true, because mindfulness and meditation is slightly different, but it's still both of these can help you attune to the higher frequencies. Now mindfulness can be practiced through various activities. Anything that you do mindfully, intentionally, and with all your focus will result in mindfulness. Now singing and dancing is one of the easiest ways to just switch off the chatter in our heads and just tune in. So I hope this helps, because I do struggle a lot. And if you're neurodivergent, you'll get this even more, because it's so much harder to turn off the thoughts, and this can be so easy to just tune in to the higher frequencies to raise our vibration. So I hope this helps. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe if you found this helpful.